You're never going to believe what she said next. She said, Spencer, you look jank.
What?
I know. Can you believe the audacity of her? So, yeah, I've been like kind of sitting on that for the past couple of days, trying to figure out a good comeback. Nothing's coming to me in the shower or anything. So that's why I decided to come to you, see if you had a good comeback for her, for calling me jank.
I would say takes one to know one.
Oh, S.
Um.
Soup! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SM Soup, the #1 podcast with soup in the name, but not on the brain. I'm Spencer,
I'm Shelby.
and we are here to take you on the adventure that is known as life, a big bowl of soup filled with all kinds of different ingredients. And the point of this podcast is to get to the bottom of, waiter, how is this soup made, or something of that like. No, just a little nonsense. We're in our post Thanksgiving timeline now.
Mm-hmm.
We just celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday on Small Business Saturday. We look very blue right now. The light is definitely very messy in here if you're watching the video.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not fixing it.
no, it's fine. It's good. But yeah, we just celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday on Small Business Saturday.
Correct.
Very exciting holiday, Small
Correct.
Business Saturday. So hopefully y'all shopped at a
Schmoll.
small business. I bought a candle.
You did
What did you buy?
a Pokemon card
Nice.
thing.
Supporting the arts.
Yes.
That's what we do. And now we can completely shift into Christmas.
The weird in between.
No, it's immediately Christmas.
No.
It was actually Christmas yesterday when we were celebrating. No, so I look forward to our we did the fun. It was fun doing the Thanksgiving like meal
Yeah.
tier ranking. We can obviously do something similar to that for
I want a tier rank.
for Christmas.
I want a tier rank.
Tier rank
White elephant gifts or something of the effect.
That would be interesting. We'll have to see what like is out there.
Yeah.
We could tier
Or
rank.
just like Amazon suggested. They
Sure.
have weird stuff on there.
Yeah. We could tier rank Christmas movies, Christmas songs, all the likes.
I'm gonna mildly disappoint in both those categories.
Songs, really?
Yeah.
Mildly disappoint from the standpoint of like
I said madly.
Madly.
Yeah.
Disappoint for songs because you just like don't like any of them.
I just don't really know them.
You absolutely know every Christmas song that would be on the list. You would know. I would expect you to know Christmas songs. Christmas movies, I'll give you. Do you have a personality, or do you think Die Hard is the best Christmas movie?
I don't watch Christmas movies, so I guess I have a personality. Yay! I have a personality.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Did you just find out?
Yeah.
Last week, I came up with doing
Spencer, what'd you do in the past week?
Oh, I guess we should talk about that, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. No, give me a second.
No, you got it. I believe in you.
We didn't do anything because we were, my parents came up, and so we didn't do anything.
We didn't.
Thursday or Friday, whenever it was probably Friday. I think it was Friday. We cleaned.
Correct.
That was the day they came up.
Correct.
But yeah, otherwise I didn't have to work a whole lot this week, which was really nice, and so I took advantage of that by playing a lot of video games.
Mm-hmm.
We did go to a park that's pretty close to us.
Yeah.
That I think has some like nice hiking trails. So I look forward to
do the hike.
Doing
the hike
all the way around.
Yeah.
What is it? 8 miles.
8 miles takes about 3.5 hours.
We can do that. We could do like a supplementary
right after this
episode that we can like put on the channel of us
Heavy breathing for
like
3.5 hours?
yeah, doing like check-ins after each like mile or something,
Yeah,
and cut
that'd
it
be
together into a
fun.
video. That'd
That'd
be
be
kind of
fun.
fun. For those of you that don't know, because I don't think we talked about it, I mean, I still have so many things on my list that we can talk about,
Okay.
but we don't have to go into any of it just yet. But um, a tease for something to come is that we got engaged on a rather long hike, so it'll be a bit like reliving that. Anyway, we saw that, and so that's cool. I'm excited to do that. You want to do it like now,
I
and
do.
I don't because it's cold and yuck.
Yeah, but if the weather's manageable, it's like not too bad to do it, you know?
I'm looking at your phone right now,
It's gonna be
and
almost 60 tomorrow.
okay, well, are we going tomorrow?
I don't know.
Well, we can't. I have to work.
What?
I have this thing, Shelby. It's called a job,
Never heard of
and I
it.
have to do that job, so that I have money,
Never heard of
so
it.
that I can buy things.
Never heard of it. Couldn't be me.
What did you do this week?
I avoided prepping for a market.
You did a
I
lot.
did. And then on the same day where we had to clean, I went, uh-oh. I still have to prep for the market.
Yeah. So then, who had to do the cleaning?
You.
Break those social norms.
You're practically saying you had to because I had other commitments.
Yeah, but I stepped up.
It's
I did
true.
what needed to be done.
It's true.
Like the man I am.
Mm-hmm.
But if it were up to me, this place would never get cleaned.
Yeah, I know. I barely gets clean
Yeah.
because I also am not a clean person.
No, I know. But normally you're the one who breaks and goes, we should probably clean.
Oh, because I'm like,
And then
it's been like
And then we both do,
4
but like
weeks.
it's only because you say we should
Right.
probably clean.
No, I know.
Like I'm never one to go, hey, we should clean this weekend.
Honestly, the only thing that drives me crazy is one thing sticking to my feet because I'm like a barefoot person, so that drives me
You're
crazy.
a real barefoot Contessa.
And two, along the same lines, when I can just like see things on the floor, like especially in carpet, that drives me up a wall. And we have a carpet in the living room that I swear everything sticks to. And so constantly I'm just like, this should be vacuumed. And then because I'm saying that, I'm like, well, then we should just clean
I have
quick.
no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I can't think of anything that has ever stuck to that carpet.
Everything sticks to that
Like
carpet.
what?
Literally everything.
Like what?
Every fleck of dirt, every piece of thread.
You see dirt.
Well, it's more like thread, fuzz, hair.
I see your thread and your fuzz that you
so it
drop
sticks.
and refuse to just pick up. Because I drop goldfish on it and I pick those up. What else did you do this week?
And then I worked on Small Business Saturday, which was fun. It was very tiring, and
That's what you brought for this week?
that kind of bleeds into what I'm talking about for this week. Is just it's not really like I think it's more really weird. Really, in the end, it's human interaction,
Mm-hmm.
but it's human interactions and human patterns that I see whilst working at art markets, both from a vendor side and from a customer side. But yeah, I worked on Small Business Saturday, and I'm just very tired. I'm sleepy. That's all.
You're like one of the 7 dwarves. I'm dopey.
I used to have what was it? One of them just literally grumpy.
Grumpy is one of them.
Yeah, I was given
Can
a
you
mug.
name
No.
one more?
No.
You've got sleepy, you've got dopey, you've got grumpy.
Hungry.
I don't think one of them's hungry. Hang on,
Doubtful.
let me just see if I have the other
I
ones.
genuinely don't know.
So technically, I can't confirm hungry.
I don't
I'm
think
pretty sure I
hungry is
know.
one.
I know 3 of the remaining 4.
I don't. Sneezy?
Sneezy.
Is
Good
that
job.
one?
Yep. Sneezy's one of
I just remembered one of them sneezing a lot.
them. It's dopey, sleepy, grumpy, sneezy, happy, I want to say. Doc. And then I don't know.
Who would be the remainder?
Yeah. Probably like
Well, that's in a way.
bashful.
Probably. There probably is one
Is
that's
it
like that.
bashful? No, I thought they were all E.
Bashy.
Stumpy. Shorty. Shoddy. Shoddy.
So funny.
Who are the Swarven dwarves?
Nice.
So this is important. We've got. All right. You said sleepy. I said dopey. You said grumpy. Then you nailed sneezy. Holy shit, I was right. It's bashful.
Yeah. There's one who just was like red in the face the whole time.
Right, but you like, I don't know. He looks high.
Well, they weren't allowed to make someone just
My
high the whole
my
time.
favorite is this just says Doc twice for no reason.
Yeah, why'd they do that? They were like, well, to make it look even visually.
Also, a lot of things are saying 7 dwarfs, but wouldn't it be? No, apparently not. They're the 7 dwarfs, not
Really?
7 dwarves. Apparently,
Guess it's their own canon. They can do whatever they want.
Plural of is dwarf an offensive name?
I think it depends how you're using it.
Some potential names: burpy, jumpy, deafy.
What?
That's not a good one.
I don't like that at all.
Dizzy. Dizzy's a good one. Hickey. What is he, just white and from the south?
It's bad.
Baldy. Baldy's funny.
According to like
a nifty dwarf.
the folklore of dwarves, a multitude is just FS. It's not VES. You're speaking of the folklore of them.
The English language
Is weird.
strikes again.
All
All right. What do you? I came up with the tier list.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
And it was a hit. Everybody loved it.
Full smash.
Everybody said Spencer has done it again. Somehow, the man behind did Tom Cruise die in this movie? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Came up with something that every reaction and pop culture channel has ever done, and said we should rank things. Bold. Yeah. How brave of me. Somebody called you brave yesterday.
Yeah. You're right.
It's a funny thing to say to someone.
It is a very weird thing to say to someone.
That's so brave of you. There are situations where it's definitely good.
Yeah,
I definitely like when people say it. Like
in actual day-to-day life.
Like somebody saying, like, you know, like somebody coming up to you like, "Oh my God, Tina just called in. She's sick. We need you to go give this speech." And you go, "Oh my God. All right." And you have a fear of public speaking. And you go, and in front of a crowd of Madison Square Garden, you deliver the speech, you nail it. And then somebody comes up to you afterward and goes, "That was really brave of you."
I did specify day-to-day life. I don't think that's most people's day-to-day life, but sure, that's something.
You said day-to-day life when I was already monologuing.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I was a little late.
And then you yawned. Like,
yeah.
I didn't think my thing was that boring, but that was the biggest yawn I've ever seen. That was offensive levels of a yawn. You know where like somebody's talking to you and you like yawn, or if you're like remember in college, you remember college when you'd be in class, if
Back
you would
in the
yawn.
day.
Sometimes you'd have that professor
yeah,
or a
who's
teacher
like,
who'd
"Oh,
be like,
I'm sorry, am I putting you to
boring
sleep?"
you? It's like, bro, it's 8 a.m.
You absolutely
You're lucky
are.
I crawled out of bed for this.
I had a professor.
This is accounting 101. I took this in high school. Leave me alone.
I had a professor who there was a day that my contact was like borderline falling out of my eye. So I was like kind of just like rubbing my eye to just like, I'm like, this contact needs to pick away, fall out, or get with it. But I'm like trying not to like cause a thing. And literally they stop talking and they go, "Shelby, are you okay?" But like really annoyed. And I was like, yeah, my contact's being weird. And they were like, "Well, can you figure it out? You're distracting me."
Well, maybe if you're going to be, I don't know, a professor at a university,
Yeah.
you should learn to not be distracted
Yeah.
by the little things.
Exactly.
You know, maybe what you should be focused on instead of being distracted by your student who's having, frankly, a crisis in their life. Maybe you should be more focused on, I don't know, your marriage.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Yeah.
or describe this teacher to me. Do I know him from stories?
Yeah.
Is it the one that
We
says
didn't-
tractor trailers aren't real
Yeah.
or whatever? I knew it. I just knew it.
They
That's
said
something-
tractor trailers aren't gray.
Yeah, I know. I know what I said was wrong, but
They're
I
pretty
mean,
close to what they
close.
would have said. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe in tractor trailers. I feel like that's something that we should definitely dive into because I don't think we've really talked much. I think something that's fun about this podcast is that we really are going to just have like free reign. We're not just trying to stay so focused on like the now.
No.
And I feel like you especially with certain, like, because I mean, you were in art in
Yeah.
college, and I think it's safe to say, and this, I mean this in like, I mean no offense when I say this, but I think every artist is weird,
I agree.
right? Like to just throw a potentially offensive word on it, but weird. Everybody's a little odd. Everybody's a little strange.
they're
And so you get
literally-
to so many characters
Yes,
when it comes
you
to
do.
art.
You
Like,
really do.
and everybody's great. Everybody's nice. That,
For the
like I'm not
most
saying,
part.
yeah, I'm not trying to say anything like it's not. I mean it in the most positive way possible.
Yes.
That because I think to be good at art, you have to be unique. In
I mean, you
everything.
literally have a group of people who like naturally think about things differently.
Right.
And then they're having to express ideas and teach other people. And like, it is a very weird scenario to be in.
You're given an assignment.
And almost everything you're teaching is so abstract and thinking that like you're not actually like being like, this is what to do. This, like, you're not actually like,
What's this cat doing?
you're not. Grogu, what are you doing? What?
No, no, no,
You
no.
cannot step on that.
No.
Get off of it. Grogu just tried standing on an easel, which if anyone knows what an easel is, the thickest piece of wood is maybe 1.5 inches wide. Not big enough for Grogu. No, Grogu. Anyway, you're also teaching very abstract thinking. So like there's not often a completely right answer to something. And you're really
Right.
just talking about things. You're not really like
Well, that's what I was gonna
teaching
say.
at people.
The thing that's neat about art is that you give an assignment and however many people are in the class, let's just say 10,
Yeah.
you're guaranteed to get 10 different answers.
More normally, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, everybody might be using the same colors, everybody might be painting the same object,
Right.
but it's no two are going to be exactly alike, which is so
Correct.
neat. Whereas in math, 2 plus 2 is always going to be 4, no matter what Terrence Howard tries to tell you.
Right.
You don't get that.
I don't.
All right. But I feel like you have a lot of fun stories that we'll probably be able to tell as they kind of just pop into mind.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, no, my thing is, they were mad at me.
Of course.
They weren't like, do you need to
No,
go
I know.
to the
That's what I'm
bathroom?
saying.
Like, are you okay?
That's what I'm saying.
They were
dude.
literally like, you are disrupting me. As I'm literally just sitting there, like, I know people can't see, but I sit and I just like have a finger rubbing over my eye.
Yeah, for
Like, that's all
audio
I'm
listeners, Shelby is taking her finger
doing.
and oh god. Oh, Shelby, stop. Oh, she's now jabbing her eye
Mm-hmm. Really
with
getting it in there.
her finger.
Yeah.
How does that
You
feel?
gotta dig.
That-
You gotta dig for the content.
Oh god, and she's pulling out this like pus-like subject, substance. Oh, I can't even speak because it's so gross.
But yeah, if you've ever rubbed your eyes from just like, oh my god, I'm tired. It wasn't even that dramatic. It was one finger just
Yeah,
rubbing around my
not
eye.
even like doing like
Yeah,
the like
no.
the double fist toddler. I'm tired.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even that. I was just rubbing my eye, but I was distracting. Regardless.
Yeah, I agree
People are
though. You
weird.
do need to get over yourself.
I know.
I came up with a tier list. Very brave of me. What do you got for us?
Speaking
this
of weird things people say to me at art markets, I think just anymore I've come to the conclusion that humans are silly. Just people are silly. And
week? Is this like a day in the life?
not really. It's just a culmination of like weird things that happen. And they vary heavily depending on where you're at and like the age group of the market you're at.
And are these weird things that specifically happen to you, or weird things that you
Mostly
witnessed as well.
witnessed,
Okay.
but like, you know, I was kind of like in the vicinity of
Well,
them.
I mean, to witness something, you normally have to be
in the vicinity of them.
I witnessed Shawshank Redemption.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You were like 2.
I was in a bar and it
Oh.
was on the
Oh,
television.
I see. So first I started this note like weeks ago, like a few weeks ago, when I was at a market that technically, and the phrasing might be nothing, but I would call it like a craft fair. It was very like country town. A lot of holiday wreaths, if you will, a lot of Christmas ornaments, like very like, and I don't even think there's like a distinction between like crafting and art, like I really don't, but like just for the sake of like the style that's there, I feel like those are generally called craft fairs, if that makes any sense.
All crafts are art, but
Yeah.
not all art is
Art.
necessarily a craft.
Yeah, there's not really a
Kinda like
strict
that.
line, but like
art's like the
yeah,
over-encompassing, whereas craft is like you're kind of getting a bit more granular. I mean,
yeah, I
a
don't
craft
know.
is obviously, I would say, still like pretty wide
Yes.
casting, but I
But
think
for some reason, yeah,
I think
certain
it's
things are
definitely
called certain things.
no, and I think that like I think that helps to kind of paint the picture, if you will.
So this is when I started the note. I put conversational hacks I learned from working at craft fair with all but entirely middle-aged non-city folk.
Oh, that's right.
I was like over an hour.
This thing.
I was not even in the state of Massachusetts anymore. I literally, we live basically in Boston, not technically, but like all but. And I drove all the way up there to like try and get a different age group, a different like people to see my stuff, to see what would happen. And it was a good experience. Anything I'm saying is just like making light of stupid little things that happen. It was a good experience overall. And so many people were very nice and whatnot. But first, I'm the only person completely by myself who is my age.
Real quick, I just want to say we live in Boston the same way that somebody from New Jersey lives in New York City. Okay, continue.
Someone in like northern New Jersey lives in New York City. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would hope that somebody from the Jersey Shore isn't trying to say they're from New York City, but
some people
they might. Oh, I'm sure. Oh no.
But yes, I agree.
To that extent, like people from Boston, like Center City, Boston,
Yeah,
like would be mad if they heard us say we're from Boston,
Right.
and then when they say what part, we say where we're from, they'd be like,
no, you're not.
Get out of here. I'm walking. Yeah. I grew up with Mike's pastries in my blood.
So I'm the only one who was my age and completely by myself, and Grogu's yelling in the back if you can hear that.
I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna pick up. I'm gonna let him back in again. Keep talking.
And in a car, not a midsize or a truck or anything of the effect, which doesn't matter. But I think, what are we yelling about? What are you doing? Oh, he's gonna take a chair. Take his chair. Grogu, take it. There we go. Now it's a party. Now it's a party. Sorry. Anyone listening on audio, Grogu's clearly in a mood, and he's now just sitting on back of Spencer's chair, and his tail's flicking like crazy. So this can only go one way in the end. So none of that means anything except for the fact that one, I genuinely shocked some people with how much fit in our car.
Okay.
Which
This
was
is
so funny.
the thing. All right. Just like fucking Brad or whatever his name was at the dealership. It's a Jetta.
Yeah.
How do you not know? All right.
Right.
Newsflash, people. Spoiler alert. Jettas, most Volkswagens, they've got decent trunks on them.
They do.
And you're like, what are you going to do with all that junk inside your trunk? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go haul it to wherever I need to take it to. You can fit a lot into our car and still be comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know where the space got sacrificed because it's not like the car's that long.
No, it's
It's
really
long,
not.
but not that long.
Nope.
So I don't understand how this isn't like more well known, but
I don't know.
You know, some people are just what's the word? Idiots.
In order to blend in, you have to make comments about the weather and how thankful you are that you brought a jacket, a sweater, or more than one layer, because of course it's raining and 50 degrees on a November day.
So are most of the people who are saying these things women?
Yeah,
I feel like that's such like a mom thing to say.
it
Like, I'm
is.
so happy I brought my jacket.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's
I
like,
heard that conversation like 5 times.
is this really what we're talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
Like, tell me about what you just watched last weekend. I don't
Well,
care
I don't
about.
even know if I want to know that, but
Yeah, but like,
no, I
yeah. Oh,
know.
yes, you do. Middle-aged women, they're gonna tell you all about Outlander and how moist it makes them.
Literally though, I would pass just like we're all loading in. Like we're all loading in at the same time.
Did anybody ask you if you brought a jacket for yourself?
Yes. Yes.
So annoying.
Well, because
Did you?
yes, I did.
Were you wearing it
Because
when they asked?
no, because I get really warm when I'm setting up.
You do. You get disgusting.
I do sometimes. Which is why I've learned I need to like literally wear just like base layers to set up. And then probably within an hour of being there, I'll throw on like a jacket if it's cold. And we weren't in like a heated building or anything. It was just like basically an event hall. So it was just like, it was very drafty. And it was like a kind of rainy whatever day. So like, yeah, I had like a sweatshirt and a jacket or whatever. But of course,
Very
setting
brave.
up, I literally just had like, I don't know, probably like a long sleeve or maybe even a short sleeve on. And people were just, of course, they were like, oh my God, did you bring a jacket? And I'd be like, yeah. And they were just like, oh, thank God, it's going to be a cold one today. And I'm just like, we're all setting up and it's just like raining. And it's like, no shit, it's going to be a cold one today. Like, it's literally gray outside.
You're like, oh, ma'am, thank you. Because without you, I wouldn't have thought to, I don't know, check my weather app this morning.
It was just so funny. Like, so many people said it, and then they'd be like, oh my God, I'm so happy I brought a sweater. It's cold in here. Oh my God. They would like exclaim it to the world. I heard that way too many times. This kind of feeds into just like how funny people
wait,
are.
real quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
The other thing you said was like talk about the weather.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than that. I would rather sit in terrible, awkward silence than have somebody go, well, at least the weather's been nice. Fuck off. No. There's no way you actually think like that's more worth talking about than me
and just
having
not
an inner monologue about, wow, I hate this situation. Because you opening your mouth is already a 50-50. And then you bring up weather, and that's just a hard no matter what.
Unless we just had the craziest weather event ever
like
in the past,
what
like,
though?
week.
Right. We lived it. We were all there. We don't need to talk about it.
Right.
Like tragic. If it was tragic, like Hurricane Katrina. All right. Yeah, we can maybe talk about that because maybe we have some cool stories to swap. But
cool stories.
Yeah, like if we were in it, like,
That's
but
true,
like
I
a
guess.
blizzard. I didn't leave my apartment. Yeah, me neither.
Whoa.
Great. Happy we talked about how we both got to see 10 inches of snow in different areas of the city.
Through a window.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah. So this plays
we lost power. Oh, I don't care. Keep going. Sorry.
This plays into, like, I would consider myself a very, especially like these kinds of events, a very go with the flow. I will adjust to just about anything kind of person.
You're definitely a chameleon person.
Yeah. And I would say, which in general experience, and people can think whatever they want of this, most events I do are with other people my age. And I would say we all tend to be like that. We all can adjust super quickly. Like, nothing is a big deal. Like, it is what it is. Like, we're just going to keep working with what we can. I got placed in probably the most inconvenient spot in the entire building. I was right in front of the doors that, like, right in front of the doors that held all of the tables and chairs for everyone in the building. And so when the guy showed it to me, he was like, basically like, do you want me to try to move you somewhere else, or like, can you like kind of be set up but then move it all into place right at the end? And I was like, I can totally just like, I know my setup, I can totally just like kind of be on the edge and then slide it all into place last minute.
Like once everybody's pulled out what they need.
Yes. And he literally goes, if you want, you can set your stuff in this corner for now and then like kind of work with what happens as time flows. So I was like, cool. So I literally start putting my stuff in the corner and I immediately see someone just staring at me as I'm doing it. And they're just like, this is my spot. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be out of the way of the doors. And they were like, this is my spot. Like they just repeated it.
The double down.
Yes.
Typically, the intended effect is for you to now move out of their way. But however, they have not given any additional information that would lead you to doing anything.
Right.
So then you're left to just stare at them. And then sometimes they go for my favorite thing, which is the triple down.
Mhm.
Or if you're in a car, the honk.
And I was like, I just kind of stood there for a second. I looked around. All right, I'll just move it, and I just shifted it to like somewhere
Were you
else.
actually in their spot?
I was.
Oh, okay.
I was in their spot. I was on the edge of their spot that was against a wall. They had 8 feet going the other way.
Like you weren't actually like set out and about or anything like that.
No,
Like
that
you
was
were
just me putting my
literally
stuff
just
down.
like
That was me putting my stuff down.
getting it all out.
So
and
the width
everything.
of a bin is as wide as the space I was using.
Well, thank God you got out of her way. She sounds like
She ended up being very nice after the fact. But I think that's just like, it's so interesting to me how that situation is approached.
why is that your initial thought to just be rude?
Well, it's how it's approached that shocks me, because then literally I was at an event on Saturday, right? And again, I'm not like trying to diss on anything or anyone that any of this that happened. But then on Saturday, literally someone like clearly when you're given a dimension of a space, that dimension also needs to fit your person and your stuff, like and your storage in it normally. And I would say, unless they specify otherwise, my assumption has always been I as a human also need to fit in this space. Someone showed up and didn't think that was a thing. So they bought so much stuff that they exceeded the capacity of the space they were provided, but they acted like that wasn't their fault. So, but you saw how we were kind of crammed on Saturday.
Mhm.
Like we were like pretty tight in
Mhm.
terms of like quarters to each other. And she sets up. Well, so she throws all her stuff up, which is like fine. But she's like very much like right on top of the people behind us. Like very much. Like honestly, thank God I set up the way I did, because like it kind of cut me off from her and she like couldn't really get into my space. But she like fully just like puts it in the other person's like way. Like basically where they were anticipating sitting, and they're like in their space completely. And she does the thing that everyone does, which when I say it, it's genuine. But you could tell when she said it, it was by no means genuine. Where she goes, just tell me if I need to move anything out of your way.
That's what the person who is like encroaching said.
Yes. Just to kind of be like, don't feel bad if you need to like tell me something of mine is bothering you, because we're all pretty close to each other. Like I say it in case I say it especially during setup, because during setup I can be a mess. Like my shit can be everywhere, and I can be like, just let me know if you need to move something.
But like, then was she like in her space the entire
time? But
time?
at this point, she's fully set up, and she says it. She's like completely like everything is out, and she was like, let me know if I need to move anything. And there are 2 girls behind me, and they go, actually, like you're kind like we don't really have any like they're now at this point almost sitting in my space, which they were like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, you're fine, like I can see what's happening, I'm not an idiot. And what's he doing? Oh,
Room's a mess.
coming under. Oh god. And
run the vacuum in here.
they were like actually like, and they were doing it in the most like us way possible, where they're like, I'm so sorry, we don't really have a lot of room to sit, and literally the response was, oh, I was told I had this size space, and so I bought the stuff to fill it.
So let me know if I'm in your way means don't say a word. I'm doing this out of kindness, because if you say anything, I'm just going to tell you you're wrong.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Which again, this person who is like encroaching also ended up being very nice.
Oh,
Gross being a monster somewhere else in the apartment. I'm sorry, we can just hear him making so many noises in the background.
We're gonna have to give him like a mic that like is on a battery pack and like on him at all times, so that we can like cut him in and out.
Yeah. But it was just it was crazy to me. It was just like crazy to me to watch it happen and to overhear it. And it was just like, they kind of ended up moving a little bit. They were like, yeah, we can like zhuzh stuff around to make it work. And like, it was just crazy to me. Like in my brain, I'm just sitting here.
No.
I'm just like,
the worst.
I was just like, they were like, oh, and I need to have everything out. Like there is no level of adjustment I can do to make your life. Like there's no, and
what were they? Were they just clothing?
No, they were jewelry.
Name.
But they were just like, it was just crazy to me. It was crazy to me. Like the absolute, and I always think like, on one hand, vendors should vouch for themselves. Absolutely. But also we're all in this together. Like we're all in the same boat. We all have to deal with it. Shouldn't there be some level of like, I guess, camaraderie, if you will?
And also just respect
yes,
for these people
really.
who are doing the same as you.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Just because like you didn't anticipate well for the event doesn't mean it's our problem to deal with it. Like, I don't understand. And of course, no one our age, for the most part, is gonna like make a big deal of it. We're just gonna like deal with what we, because again, most of us are just like, well, this is what we have to deal with. This is what we have to deal with. But yeah, I was just like, it like blows my mind.
It's just annoying though, because you give that person an inch and like they're gonna take a mile.
Yes.
And they definitely seem like the type of person who's just never been told no in their life, if that's how they act.
Possibly.
They just, it's like such an entitled way of like acting, thinking, and like everything. And just not to, go into a whole what's wrong with this world thing, but just nobody ever wants to admit that they're wrong about something.
I know.
And say like, oh, I misinterpreted this. That's my bad. Like, can you understand that I misinterpreted this? And then you like, again, if you're respectful
right
to these other people, they'll give you that respect back.
Right.
Like, it's that simple. Like, just say like, I'm a fuck up. Like, we can all laugh at ourselves for that because we all screw up something one day or another.
Right.
Like, so it's just crazy that like you're going to go, rather than say like, wow, this is a reflection on me and how I interpret things. And like, now I know for next time. Instead, you're going to say, well, actually I was told this, so I'm not in your space.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then why did you even say about coming into my space?
Right.
That's so annoying.
It's so silly.
It's just shit like that makes my blood boil.
I know. And I'm just like, and that's when I sit there and I go, and I was like, okay, but when I say that, I actually mean it. Like, I actually want someone to tell me, like, I don't want someone to be afraid to tell me that something's wrong, because like, I want them to also like vouch for themselves.
I mean, I'm sure your tone's completely off when you say it, but yeah. I'm sure you're just like,
I'm like, hey, let me know. Like, if something's in your way, whatever, let me know, okay? But don't bring it up.
But don't actually bring it up. It's like, I'm going to say something first.
Yeah.
So that way I'm right.
Yeah.
Like,
that's definitely what
you crash into somebody, like fender bender.
Yeah.
You rear end somebody and you get out and go, what were you doing? Because you quickly try to make it that the other person was in the wrong, even though you clearly rear ended them. Anyway.
Yeah. We are on the same page. So just as a whole, it's just, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, it's like an age thing. It probably is to a degree, like just a general trend of like how people act. Which I sometimes wish, I'm not saying I want to be these people, but sometimes I wish I could embody a little bit of like I don't necessarily mean I need the world to rotate around me, but like, I don't know, sometimes I'm just like, I just need to have that little bit of like, I don't fucking care. I need to do what I need to do. Like, I want to take a bit of it. I want to take a little bit of it.
A little bit of like a me first approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's an in between. I'm really bad at balance, and I think a lot of people my age are bad at balance. Where I'm saying like, oh, myself and the other two who like were getting encroached upon, we were like, oh, we'll deal with it. But like then this person who's like, deal with it, and it's like, where's the middle ground?
Right. That person's always in a me first mindset.
Yeah.
But they'll be the type of person, because this is what I truly think, is that if you ever encounter somebody who's like, yeah, I'm just really good at knowing when to put myself first.
Mm-hmm.
That means I always put myself first.
Impossible.
Like I almost never, like, because like you said, it's really hard to find that balance.
It is really hard to find a balance.
Like really the balance is 99% of the time, 99 times out of 100, you don't value yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's the one time that something annoys you so much that you say, I'm going to stick up for myself. I deserve this. And it goes well, and then you either, fall into the mindset of like, I'm just gonna do this all the time because I'll get my way, or you go, that was scared the shit out of me. Back to living under a rock for a couple of weeks.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I think just as a whole, I love to just sit at these things and
People watch.
People watch. That's
Yeah.
literally so fun to do. I like to, and I say I observe the trends of what people gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also probably going to sound mean to some people, but at the craft fair, the general age range of the people coming to shop were easily like, honestly, almost probably like 60 and up, but I'll say for sure 50 and up, like for sure. The way this sounds so mean, I swear I don't mean it in any way. The way they gravitated
I'm like,
towards trinkets,
I'm so ready to cancel you.
it felt like it was like watching a child like in a store who has to touch
Interesting.
everything. Like, you know what I mean?
Headline,
Like, you're like,
Shelby doesn't care about the elderly
no.
or children.
But you know, like kids want to touch everything. Like kids literally want to touch everything.
Mm.
And you constantly have to be like,
Don't
John,
do
don't
that.
touch that. Stop. You don't have to touch everything. Stop. Like,
Smack
don't
their
touch it.
hand.
Yeah. Like, you're constantly telling that. I watched grown ass people, very grown ass people, touch every single thing that would come near them, and like literally like really look at it, probably ask what it was, what it does, a million questions about it, which I'm just like, how is this still fun for you? Because I've watched you do it 15 other times leading up to this point. Are you actually retaining any of this information? Is this interesting to you? Have you never seen these things before? Where have you been for the past 40 years? None of this is new. I was just like in shock. Like, I was watching it and I kind of started talking to someone else, and we both were like, yeah, people keep just like touching things, right? Like, we both were like, this is weird. This is like, people are just like, I need to touch everything and see what it is and have a million questions. And I was just like, what is happening? Whereas like at an event that's primarily people our age in our mid-20s, you're lucky if they even stop at your table and like go through a bin of something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless it's the only thing that is attractive to like a 18 to 26-year-old, I'll say, is a bin of clothing on the floor that says $5 a piece
Or less.
less. That is the only thing that I will see people our age dive into.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, good luck. Good luck getting them to like really go through things. You have to have everything laid out so that like they can make the decision and they're either approaching your table or not approaching your
Mm-hmm.
table. And it's so funny. It is so funny, the difference in how people react to things, especially on like an age level. And I also think it's because people our age don't want to converse unless they're truly interested in what they're looking at, because they know approaching a table, there's a high chance they're going to be acknowledged. And so if they just don't come up to your table, there's no like awkward, hey, how's it going? How are you doing today? I'm good. I've already said this 5 million times today. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like at the craft fair, if I even made eye contact with someone, they were like, oh, hi, what do you do? What do you sell? Is this like your whole thing? Is like, oh, how'd you make this? Oh, what's this made out of? Oh, do you like do this all the time? Do you happen to make, it's like you get 20 questions. Like, it's insane.
They're all moms.
And they're not even at my table. Like, they saw me. We made eye contact across the building.
Why are your eyes up?
I don't know. It's so weird. But yeah, it's just wild. The only other thing I marked is at one point someone was like looking at a product and they went, how much is this? And the person said $10. $10. 10. One little bill. And they literally put it down. They went, I'm sorry, and walked out of the building. And that's the end of my market experience. It's a weird time, honestly.
I hate that.
I promise I have a good experience at like 99% of these.
No, I mean, you're just pointing out the things that are like funny.
Yes.
You know, I hate that art has gotten this reputation that it's so easy and that anybody can do it.
Yes.
Like, yeah, anybody can pick up the hobby, but like you need to still hone in on the craft and like
Yeah.
actually become truly good at it.
Good at it, and
And
then not to mention good at marketing it, good
yeah,
at making it look
no, I
nice,
mean
good at
none of that's even important.
No,
What it
it's
comes
not, but
down to
like
is this: like you do graphic design. Not everybody can just do graphic design. Anybody can,
right.
but not everybody can,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like anybody can learn
Right.
to do any number of things, right?
Correct.
There's very few things I would say that like are impossible to learn.
Right. I
You
agree.
just need to have the dedication to doing it. And I would say that sure, a lot of art things conceptually are the things that are going to be the easiest
Yeah.
to like
Well, it's a skill
it's
that you just
easier
have to work
like
on.
learn how to paint, draw, do any of those
Yes.
things than it is
Yes.
to learn how to be a doctor,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
It's easy to say one weekend I'm going to learn how to play the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and you steadily can learn to play the guitar much quicker than learning to be a doctor.
The only example we have.
But yeah, I don't get the reputation that everybody thinks art is just so easy that everything can just be so easily replicated that it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
Like any number. And I think I almost think it's because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know because I think I don't know what the example of this $10 thing was, but any number of things that I can think of, like I'm just going to use painting as the example. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
so often you can show somebody a painting, right? And the same painting, right? Let's say you have two of them,
Yeah.
and they're identical, despite my earlier thing where no matter what, you're never going to get two that are
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
identical.
Yeah.
But these things are identical for all for the purpose of this. Somebody can say, how much is this? And you can say $40, and that is too expensive. And you can say $400, and it's the perfect price.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't get it. I don't get. I mean, it's great that that I guess people are more willing to pay more, but like
Yeah.
you can say $40 and they scoff at you. And it's like, okay, look at this. And how much time do you think it took to make this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it took more than 2 hours, I'm already undercutting myself for $20 an hour.
Right.
And that's not taking into account the fact that I had to pay for paint and I had to buy the canvas or whatever I painted it on.
Right.
And, there's layers to all this stuff.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And when it comes to like thrifted items and like stuff like that, like the fee that you're paying is, I mean, you should, if you're buying clothes from somebody, you should be prepared to pay basically, I would say at least $30 because for any number of items, because, and I'm talking about like just thrifted basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is that if you think about it, the person's curating it for you.
Yeah.
They went and took the time and the effort to go through all the shit that is at a thrift store.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, there's always junk and
Yeah.
always stuff that's like, why is this here? Right? And I mean, somebody will find use for it and that's great. But it's like, you're sifting through to find like the actual pieces that people are going to care about. And you're curating that for them. Like it's like the fucking Devil Wears Prada. Never seen it. I'm just assuming that's what happens in that movie. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
No,
And it's just like,
yeah.
but like you'll have like a fucking vintage leather jacket and you'll say it's $80 and they'll go, best I was willing to pay was $5.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, then you should have gone to the fucking thrift store that I got it from.
Right.
Because
I
paid $2.50.
I still probably didn't even pay $5
You probably
for
had
it
to
at
pay
thrift store.
for a leather jacket. You probably had to pay much more than that.
Yeah. No, but I totally agree. A lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of like why it is what it is. A lot of people blame just like to point a finger at something very obvious. It's obviously just like mass production, big box store. Because I mean, you can go to whatever, a Home Goods, Target, a listed, whatever, and get a like big painting that's perfect for over your living room, and it's like the centerpiece of your living room for, if it's on sale, maybe $25 to $30, like, and who knows, maybe more, maybe less, depending. And it's like you hope someone's doing well with that because people do license out their art to those stores for that reason, which is like cool, whatever. But yeah, if you actually want something handmade, and like cared for by an individual, like that costs more than $25-$30. Like I feel so bad for people who make like mugs and stuff, like anything that is like such an easy seen as an easy equivalent to something you can just go out and buy. You're fighting an uphill battle every single day trying to be like, hi, please think my $35 mug, which to me even still seems low as for a handmade item, please like think it's valuable and not just run to a store and pay $5 for one. Like I worked really hard on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything where you're doing something like this, or anything where you're doing, um, where you're like creating stuff, I feel like you're definitely working harder than most people because so often people aren't willing to think about like the time that you put into it.
Yeah. Or even just
You know what I mean?
the time you took to like actually just learn how to do it.
Like you made a pair of earrings, and it's like,
Yeah.
again, if those took you an hour and you value your time at whatever price,
Yeah.
it's like, but nobody's going to be willing to pay more than $10 for it.
Right.
And it's just like, that's like hard to swallow,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
that your like time is worthless to other people, essentially. Everybody else in the world is paid for their time and their time alone.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's solely on that basis. It's
Right.
not, I don't get paid for the work that I do. I get paid for the time that I put in to do the work that I do.
Right.
But with art, you don't get that.
Yeah.
You don't get paid for your time. Or it's not, you do a good job of calculating it into your prices for the most part.
Right.
But even then, you probably undercut yourself.
Probably from time to time,
and it's because you know that if you were to tack on the extra hour or whatever in terms of time, somebody's not going to pay for that.
Right.
Silly.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And to get even deeper, oh, look at that. We're out of time. Darn.
Oh, man.
No, I mean, I have so many things that I could say about this.
Yeah.
There's so much that's ruined art, I think. Technology.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a whole rant ready.
Keep it locked and loaded.
But
I mean, there's so much interesting stuff going on because it's like in some ways technologies has aided, but also definitely like hurt like value
right.
in terms of art.
One of the things I was going to bring up is that AI.
Yeah.
Art,
AI is going to be a mess
people
for a
think
while.
that, and any piece of art can be replicated.
Yeah.
You see, like it's so gross. Somebody will like share something that they had just created. They'll post it online, and somebody will say, "What would you call this style?" And anytime you see that, turn and run away. Because what they're looking for is a word that they can plug into the engine to try and get as close to replicating your thing as possible. So like if you like do if you do like a Charizard like painting and the only word I can think of is like medieval, right? And I think somebody would be able to come up with that. So, art styles. Like, give me like a kind of niche art style.
I mean, I don't know about niche. Like, if you did like an impressionistic style of.
Sure, like it comes with its own like colors and lighting and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, like, somebody does that with Charizard and it's like amazing.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon, right?
Right.
Some idiot who doesn't know art is just going to be like, oh, bright. It's like, oh, what would you call this style? And it's just like, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Run. Like, don't teach anybody anything anymore because
that sucks.
It does. But like, all they're going to do is
I know what you're
saying.
Try
and put you back even further.
Yeah. I know someone literally, sorry, I know we are ending, but someone literally had a question about something I made. They were like, oh, is it this? And they were like, I promise I'm not trying to copy you. I just like, I'm curious. And I was like, oh, you're fine. Like I'm not cynical enough.
No, but my thing
to like feel the need to like protect it quite yet. Cause I'm a very small artists. Like I've never gotten
And
like screwed over by a
saying,
company,
like,
but
I'm
like
saying for the most part, like online, if
no,
you're sharing on
yes.
Twitter and
Yes.
somebody's response to you is,
Yeah.
what style is this? And not, wow, this is amazing. And that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm not here to teach you about art.
Yeah.
Like, if you truly care and you truly want to know, take it up. Like, because I'm not saying people shouldn't learn the arts. I'm not saying
No,
people
I
shouldn't
know.
be educated on this
But it's
stuff. But
becoming a bit of like a
it's
gray
the
area
lazy
because
way,
you don't know what people's
and you're
intentions are with
probably doing it
learning
for
this
nefarious
information.
reasons. Yep.
Yeah, I totally know. Yeah, it's really stupid and shitty. And yeah, because a lot of people don't even know how to talk about art. But then you have so many people who are ruining it that people start asking questions, and you're like, "Why are you asking questions? Do you actually
everybody's like on?
Yeah, we're on edge." But yeah, I know this was kind of a downer. It was meant to kind of just giggle.
And
it was
the
meant to just
video-
laugh at people having
The
weird
video is
patterns.
all down and dreary.
Our
and
video it's like gray.
depressing and
But
existential about art.
always shop small when you can.
Yeah.
Be as nice as you can to the people who you're supporting because they probably get the craziest questions that you can't even imagine they get. And the craziest interactions you can't even fathom they get.
Yeah, and do try and just figure out the price, without asking. I think if at any point you have to ask, just buy it at that point.
Ask why it is what it is.
No, ask what it is. Ask what the price is. At any time, if you need to ask what the price is, just buy it at that point.
Oh, like at that point you're so deep into wanting
Yeah.
it that like you should just get it. Yeah, I get that.
Case in point, yesterday when I bought my candle,
Yeah.
I could not for the life of me figure it out.
They had a sign right at the front of the
They
booth.
did.
They did.
And I ended up seeing it. And I saw the price and I went, oh, okay, that's what I want to pay.
Yeah.
But if at any point if I would have gone up to them, this fucking cat, and gone, how much is this? And they would have said $40. Guess what?
You would have bought it.
I would have bought a $40 candle, and I would not have been happy about it. But I wouldn't put it down because then it's like, what? Like, why did I ask if I didn't care enough to want this item?
Yeah.
And at what point is there true? I mean, there's definitely a number that I would have said no, but it's like, at what point is that?
Yeah.
Because it's like, then did I ever really truly care at all?
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode of SM Soup. I hope everybody's been enjoying the revitalization of you and I doing a podcast. I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And this episode was a lot of fun. I feel like we had some laughs. Be sure to share it around with anybody you think might enjoy just the silly random things we talk about.
Yeah, in case anyone doesn't know, it's available on YouTube in video form and should be available.
We do mention that sometimes, yeah.
I don't know if we really have.
No, we mentioned
like
there is a video.
That's true, but I'm saying it's on YouTube in video form, and it should be available on all podcast streaming services. So if someone's like, I don't use Spotify, first off, maybe stop being friends with them, and two, tell them, dummy, it's on Google Play. Who uses Google Play?
Apple Podcasts? So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wait. When we're home for the holidays, I'm gonna just save. I know my mom uses Apple Podcasts. I'm gonna save our podcast in her phone, and then maybe one day she'll just start listening to it. Should I start sneakily saving it in people's phones?
Interesting. We'll have to stop talking trash on her.
I know.
If anybody has any recommendations on topics or something, even if it's like super random, we'll put.
Yeah, it doesn't have to fill an episode.
Or we'll put the time in. We'll do some investigative research into it, and try and come up with a fun episode around that topic.
It's true. So
you can let us know either. You can find me on Twitter.
Yep.
At the Basement Gamer GAMR, and let me know. The comment section of the YouTube. Even if you listen on Spotify, if you just want to go over to the video and leave the comment there on topic, or best place to find you is probably on your Instagram.
Instagram at Shelby Lynn Lives, LIVES.
And those are at the bottom of the video format, right at the beginning, right? You put our handles?
I think I tend to put them in the description of the podcast.
Oh, perfect. So there you go. So you can find it in there and let us know at those places.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Look forward to talking to you next week. Grogu?
He's out.
He's in trouble. Go get this demon.